Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Christopher Aaron. It is February 11th, 2025, and the gold price is at the highest level ever witnessed in the history of human civilization. In every single currency around the world, it doesn't matter if we're talking about US dollars, euros, British pounds, New Zealand dollars, Canadian dollars, or Swiss francs, the gold price is the highest level it has ever been in the history of planet Earth as expressed in these fiat currencies. So, this is incredible. I mean, first of all, you should acknowledge that you're living through something rare, something special, right? This doesn't happen every day, every year, even every decade. Secondly, let's talk about what is going to happen now to the gold price. Where are we? Is this it? Is this the top? Let's talk about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you should hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll know when these videos come out. Otherwise, you will miss a video, and that would not be good. If you have a moment to give it a thumbs up, I would very much appreciate it. It helps out the algorithms here on YouTube. Last but not least, if you're not following our free account on X or Twitter at iGlobalGold, you're just missing free information. I publish on X a lot more often than I do on YouTube, so there's just like 3 or 4 free posts per week that you're missing outright. So you should follow us on there for free. If you are a premium subscriber, I want to make sure you check your email inbox, because I just published a flash update this morning that discusses our newest gold mining company, Provenance Gold Corp, that is higher by 231% in the last 4 months. So make sure you check your email and watch the video for our premium subscribers in Precious Metals Intelligence Plus, and you will learn what is happening with Provenance now. Let's get into the gold price update here, our legal disclaimer. Now, remember, this is the backdrop. We were talking about this in the last video. This is the Dow to gold ratio from 1970 to present. And the important point is this. Pay attention to the red over here. And notice that as gold here is higher by 160%, over the last 10 years, it's bumping up against $3,000. It's at an all-time high. All of this is true, but notice that the Dow to gold ratio itself is flat. It's moved 0%. And this is the only time in history that has happened. Notice the previous 2 cycles here in the gold price, gold moving to new all-time highs in the 1970s and the 2000s, but the Dow to gold ratio declining strongly in disfavor of stocks and in favor of gold. This cycle that we've been in is the anomaly. And so to answer the question, has this ever happened before? No, this has never happened in the history of planet Earth. Never, not once. So not only are we living through an anomaly with the Dow to gold ratio, but we are talking about gold itself at an all-time high, levels never before seen. So what is going to happen now to the gold price? What I want to do is attempt to answer this question, is this it? Is this the top? Is this the end of the move? Here's why I do not think this is the end of the move. I still think gold has actually quite a bit further to move to the upside, even though it's already almost at $3,000. So what I have here is the gold price on the top going back for the last 5 years. And on the bottom, I'm going to show over the exact same period of time, interest from Google Trends, which is an analytics service that allows us to measure how many people are searching for information on this very gold price. And so notice here, as gold has already broken out from this 4-year consolidation, and over the last 5 years as a net sum is now higher by $800. Notice that over the exact same period of time, we are actually seeing interest in this very gold price that is higher by $800. There's less interest in this thing that has moved higher. Now, before you get upset or say, woe is me or woe is us, you should take that frown and you should turn it upside down, because this is a very good thing. We want to see this. This is the proper backdrop for what? A continuation move higher. If the level of interest in the gold price was already back to where it was at a previous peak, this 100 level, notice that that coincided with a 4-year peak. It took gold 4 years of consolidation to break out. So this is actually a very bullish signal. It is bullish that gold has been moving higher here by $800, but it's more of a stealth run. So if you think about this, who is it that's buying? It's not the average person in the West. It's not the average person in the United States or Canada or Australia or Europe or Great Britain who's buying. We know that because we can see the search levels are down here. Who is buying? It's high-powered money. It's central banks. It's the Bank of China. It's the Central Bank of India, Russia, right? It's all the high-powered money, sovereign wealth funds. So the fact that there's still relatively little mainstream interest, even though gold is $800 higher than it was 4 years ago, is telling me that we are not seeing the proper sentiment right now in this market that would coincide with a top. We are not there yet. And I ask you to go out in your wider walks of life and verify this. Go to the coffee shop, go to the bar, go to the gym, go to the dog park, go to the yoga studio, go to work, and ask all these people, are you investing in gold? I would dare to estimate that less than 1 out of 100 people are yet investing in gold. And so that is not the kind of psychology that meshes with a long-term top. So our takeaway is that gold still has a lot further to run. I will be updating this chart periodically and more often for premium subscribers so that we have a good sense of when we might get to the next top in the gold price. Now, let's also take a look, if this makes sense to you and you understand that there's still relatively little mainstream interest in gold price itself, even though the metal is higher, this chart should make sense to you. What we're looking at here is a ratio between the gold miners to gold. And so we're showing here the zone in which the miners top and the zone in which the miners bottom over the course of the last 10 years. Notice the bottom levels here from 21 to 2015. This was a bear market bottom. And notice after this bottom, the miners gained 133% more than the price of gold over the next 6 months. That's what happens when this ratio gets stretched and there's relatively little interest from the mainstream investor, which we just demonstrated when we looked at the sentiment chart. Okay? Secondly, look at the next major bottom that set up here in 2020 following the coronavirus panic, and notice from this exact same level as the 2011 to 2015 bear market bottom, gold miners gained 95% more than the price of gold in just a short window to get to this top zone. Aha, look at where we are now. We just talked about it. There's relatively little interest in the gold price amongst the average investor. And so, as a corollary to that, there is relatively little interest still in the gold miners. And this is, I believe, your opportunity. If this chart is going to be correct, and it has been correct over the previous 10 years on 2 different instances, then the gold miners are going to gain approximately 100% more than the price of gold over the course of this next cycle setting up. If you're a contrarian and you're saying gold's already at $3,000 per ounce, do I really want to spend $3,000 for one gold coin? you should start thinking about the gold miners, because history shows that this is the level that they outpace gold in. If you're interested in this kind of analysis, but you want to go deeper, you should know we just released a flash update for our Precious Metals Intelligence subscribers that covered one of those gold mining companies, as I said, Provenance Gold Corp, that has already demonstrated these kinds of gains. So you can see how these gold mining companies can rise a lot more than the price of gold itself when the overall sector starts to turn up. And remember, there's very little interest in the gold price right now. It is not at a peak level yet. Go out and ask people that you know whether they are investing in gold, and I dare to think that the answer is probably no. So this is why the opportunity is still in front of us here, and I do not think we are at a top, and I think we're going to have more instances like this. Precious Metals Intelligence Plus is the service for you. If you are a higher net worth investor, you have to understand that we buy companies like this, Provenance Gold Corp, but when we do it in our other service called Elite Private Placements, they also give us free warrants with every single investment that we are making, which gets us nearly twice as much upside compared to buying these very same gold mining companies in the open market. So if you're a higher net worth investor, make sure you check out our Elite Private Placements service. Last but not least, if you would like to sit down with myself, Christopher Aaron, and discuss your individual gold or silver miners, if you are new to the gold sector and you would like to discuss how to buy physical gold, physical silver, make sure you're not getting ripped off by any of the dealerships out there. I see this a lot. I see first-time gold investors who call a bullion dealership, and the bullion dealerships end up selling them things that cost 30, 40, 50% premium above the spot price, when that is not what you want. You want to be buying as much gold for your money as possible. So please know I do not take any kickbacks or any fees from any of the dealerships. I am entirely independent, and I work with individuals. The takeaway, the gold price is at an all-time high in every currency around the world. This has never happened before. And at the exact same moment that this is happening, the interest in gold from mainstream investors is lower than it was 5 years ago, telling us that no, gold has not topped yet. This is the time to get on board if you have not done so already.